Today, we're pulling the Headlight Revolution Polaris RZR XP1000 into the shop. We're tearing out the old original LED headlights, and we're going to install the Vision X bracket kit with the mini light cannons and the round Optimus. Why? Because it looks cool, they're bright as hell, and compared to other options on the market, it's one of the best. The thing I love about the Vision X product line, especially going on a side-by-side or a four-wheeler, is if you're running something like the XPL light bar or the XPR light bar or the Adventure series or any of their off-road forward lighting, you can get a really cool look that matches. You got this really deep cone reflector off-road style optic, like in this Adventure series and on the XPL, and you get the exact same look and technology in the headlights. So a lot of times people say, I want this light bar and I want this headlight and I want this bumper bar, and none of it matches. Well, we're gonna solve that with the Vision X family of off-road lighting products. What comes in the kit is a bracket like this. You got the Vision X logo in the corner, and as you can see, it has the same mounting configuration as your stock headlight. You've got those two tabs line up. You've got this other tab that lines up. So you take out either your original OEM LED headlights or your original OEM halogen reflector headlights, and you mount this in its place. And what ends up happening is you get to choose your configuration of beam pattern style. The Vision X round Optimus and the smaller light cannon product come in different styles for different beam patterns. Here we have the mini light cannon in a multi-diode configuration that gives us the best light output value. It doesn't go as far because it has 3 LEDs in a more diffuse pattern, but it's super, super bright. And then we have the single LED version that's deep down inside the reflector to give us a lot more downrange light. You put those two together and you get something like this. And we have the perfect mix of ultra bright distance and flood. You can do both multi-LED headlights, you can do a mix of one or the other, or you can do both single LED headlights. And then there's different degrees of beam patterns in the mix also. With this kit, it's fully customizable to get the exact beam pattern that you want for your driving experience. You can either buy this kit in just the brackets and use your own lights, or you can buy the brackets plus the lights. Let me show you what comes in the box. The headlight mounting bracket kit comes with 2 large face plates that are labeled passenger side and driver side. So you get a mirror image of each other. Then you also get a passenger side and driver side mounting plate. So this is what hooks up to these 2 holes, and that's what holds your lights in place. It's a pretty intuitive and simple design. Bolt everything together, align the lights so they're pointing the right direction, and then the kit assembled goes in place exactly how your original lights came out. Lastly is the wiring. The kit comes with 2 headlight harnesses specifically designed for the Polaris RZR. Make sure you get the right model for your year. And the way it works is you have a pair of Deutsch connectors on one end. So they're going to plug in to your new Vision X lights. And then this side is going to connect to your factory headlight wiring. As you can see, it's identical to the original headlight wiring plug on the headlights. Now, if you have the halogen headlights, it's going to be a different connector. For the LED headlights, it's going to be this connector. And you just got to make sure that you get the right kit for your year of RZR. Like I said, you can use any combination of lights and beam patterns from Vision X in the Mini Cannon series or the Round Optimus series. We're choosing to use the single LED Optimus Round that comes in at 1052 lumens but gives us 883 feet of distance and lighting. And then we're also going to use the 3 LED, 3.5-inch round light cannon. This thing comes in at 2,250 lumens, way brighter than the single diode light, but only shines down the road about half as far. So with this combo, the 3 LED light cannon on the outside, the single LED Optimus on the inside, we're going to get an amazing combination of both long distance and close distance flood.
All right, so we've got our RZR pulled in now, and the first step in getting those Vision X lights installed in the front of your rig is to actually pull this panel off. Go ahead and twist these counterclockwise, pop it off just like that. Now, using a T40 Torx bit, you can remove the fasteners holding this plastic piece on the front of your RZR. Go ahead and remove the two up front right here. And then on each side, there's one up top right here and one on the lower quarter of the bumper here. Do the exact same thing on the other side of the RZR. There are 2 bolts behind this bumper that we've got installed on our RZR. If you've got something similar to this, I'll show you a trick to get them out. You can get them out with a T40 bit and an extension. If you don't have a front bumper like ours, maybe you don't even have the aftermarket front bumper at all, you can just reach in there with the same tools you've got, pull these 2 lower bolts out, and then you'll have enough room to actually cheat this whole bumper forward and access your lights without any trouble. As you can see, you're able to reach a ratchet in there with a T40 bit without pulling the bumper off. So if you've got one like ours, you're not going to have any trouble doing this modification. Now with those bumper bolts removed, you can finally pull this thing out, and as you can see, you've got plenty of room now to access the back of this headlight. And what you're going to end up needing is a T25 Torx bit, and there are 3 screws on the back here that hold this thing in. There's one on the far outside of the headlight, and then there are 2 on the inside of the headlight, one up top, one on the bottom. And using a T25 Torx bit on a ratchet, you can go ahead and spin those loose. Now you can pull the headlight out, drop it right out like that. Now there's a little assembly required with this Vision X headlight kit, and honestly it's not too bad. If you've seen other kits on the market, there's a lot more to do than this one. Take this bracket right here. This is what actually holds your Vision X pods on this headlight bracket itself. And we're going to end up installing the stainless steel hardware that secures this bracket to the other bracket. Go ahead and take the stainless hardware and feed it through the front of the bracket so that it comes through like this. Use the supplied washers and locking nuts. And we're just going to attach it lightly like this. Get the other bolt in, install your washer, and the locking nut. Now make sure, before you get all this assembled, that your tabs are facing up, like toward the opening of the actual headlight assembly. You don't want them facing down. If you do that, it's not going to mount properly. It's not going to look right on the vehicle. So if it looks just like this, go ahead and use your supplied hex key on the front. And I'm using an 11mm socket. Go ahead and snug these nuts up. Now I will say, first impressions of this kit are really good. Very stout, very sturdy. This is actually thick material. Normally you see these things they're quite a bit thinner, and so they're prone to flexing or even shaking on the vehicle. And I don't see that being a problem with this kit. This is pretty solid metal. Powder coating looks good. Love it so far. Now we're going to take our Vision X CG2 lights and install those toward the outside of the vehicle. And we're going to use our Optimus single LED lights on the inside as our high beam. Should give us the perfect combo of low beam, high beam, flood, and spot. Let's go ahead and loosen up the supplied nut on these lights. Feed it through the bracket just like so. As you can tell, it's slotted both on the Vision X light itself and the Vision X mount. And I like that because it gives me just enough adjustability to make this work however I need it to. If it's too high or too low on the vehicle, I can pitch it up and down just fine. Take the Optimus single LED light and install it the exact same way. Just loosely starting the nut for now. Now, should look something like this. We can go ahead and snug these nuts up a little bit to take the slack out of them, but ultimately you don't want to go too crazy tight with these just because we need to do a lot of adjusting once we get to the vehicle. You want to make sure that these are pointed down the road, down the trail, exactly how you want them. The last thing you want to be doing is shining the owls up in the trees or shining way down low at the ground and not being able to see where you're going. Now when you're all done, it should look something like this. As you can see, the lights are reasonably centered in the openings. Like I said, I'm not going to go crazy with cinching anything down just yet, tightening anything down just yet. I want to make sure that my light's where I want it to be before I get any further. So let's get these mounted on the vehicle, and then we'll do a little adjusting, and I'll show you guys just how much brighter these are compared to those stock headlights. Now that we're back to the RZR, go ahead and take your assembled Vision X headlight. I have to admit, it does not get much easier than this. If you're looking for an easy RZR upgrade that you can do at home in a couple minutes, honestly, this isn't something that's going to take you all day to do. It takes very basic hand tools. As you can see, we're already just about done here. As you can see, it fits in there pretty snug. Honestly, it looks like it came like this from the factory. So I'm going to get this thing all plugged in. I'm going to jump over to the other side, do that real quick, and then we'll fire this against the wall and see how it performs. Now, as you can absolutely tell, those Vision X CG2s on the outside and those Vision X Optimus lights on the inside of this thing produce an unbelievable low and high beam. You're going to wonder how you ever drove with those stock Polaris headlights that these things come with from the factory. Now, the next thing we're going to be tackling in a separate video is the factory light bar that came on this when we bought it. It might have been a dealer added option, I'm not sure, but either way, we've got a Vision X light bar that makes this thing look like a candle. So stay tuned to our channel, I'd love to show it to you.